a history lab, you should first ask the kids some questions. Is it a credible source by the date, who wrote it, what time it was, and who was the audience. And as you're reading, if you use the overarching question, why the colony should have revolted against Great Britain, you can have the children figure out how, like if Thomas Paine says kings cause wars and that a king can inherit the throne at any young age, you should have the kids write that down, like for the author's perspective. And then as you're doing that, after more sources, you can kind of figure out if the colony should have revolted, and then go back to the overarching question and answer that.
I like the document better than the textbook because they tell about the Native Americans' perspective better than the textbook, and like they tell the details that they were like why don't they like them, and why do they want to have their own freedom, and why do they want their land.
And I think that examining the documents is kind of fun because you can really get a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah, how can you tell it's tea?
Because they're dumping sugar.
Well, it's not sugar. Look at this lady. What's she doing with the bowl?
Drinking it.
Right, so it's definitely something that they're drinking.
They're drinking some kind of tea that they maybe made.
Exactly.
Colonists are trying to make a treaty with Delaware, then the colonists would want to revolt with Delaware.
Right, but if Delaware was given them a free passage for the country,
they all conspired. They were all friends.
That's a difference. He was really just on a British side, but he got mad. She's saying that to her husband that I love you, but we have to think about other women in this world. Just give them rights for once, because you're owning.
You call us traitors? Well, you're the real traitors. We helped you fight for the land in the French and Indian War, but you gave it away to the natives and then taxed us highly for that war.
We will never ever join you ever again. Patriots are going to go out of this British house! Yeah!
Open your eyes and ears to hear what's going on around you. If you revolt against the king, you will plunge into ruins, and many of your people will die in vain. We may be soldiers, but you just got served. What? In your face. Oh, you just got served twice. Whoa!
In history lab, I learned all of the history of I knew that the colonists won, but I never knew all the history behind them, so I liked it. It was fun. I learned that even though that the British didn't want them to revolt, they did. A lot of people didn't want them to, but they were basically being good because when you're doing what you truly want to do, you're being yourself. So I'm actually happy that they did that, and it's really fun to learn about this, especially what we just did. It was a lot of arguing and a lot of writing and a lot of talking, and it was just so fun.
I learned that even if we have different opinions or different skin, we still are all the same.
Good.
God made us the same blood.
History lab, I think, is kind of important because it kind of gives you more background about maybe something you may be doing with.